Stop thinking US sanctions killed Huawei's chip ambitions. If you believe that cutting off Huawei from American technology was a fatal blow, you haven't met the woman they call China's chip queen. Meet Tingbo, who built a $130 billion chip empire under sanctions. After 30 years at Huawei, she rose to become president of their semiconductor business and a board member. In 2004, she transformed HiSilicon from a small internal department into the world's most extensive semiconductor operation. When U.S. sanctions hit in 2019, she energized her team with a critical message: "We are building a backup lifeline for Huawei and for the whole country." Not only did she deliver, but she is also now introducing the Tau scaling law, an innovative approach to chip development, as an alternative to Moore's law. Let me take you through her remarkable journey, and by the end, you'll discover 3 impactful lessons that could change your perspective on the global chip race. I'll admit something. I initially thought that U.S. sanctions would end Huawei's ambitions in the chip industry. With no access to ASML, TSMC, or American software, how could they possibly survive? That's when I encountered Tingbo and realized my underestimation of China's most dedicated engineer. Today, I'll narrate her story, detailing how she constructed HiSilicon, led Huawei through sanctions, and introduced 381 mass-produced chips, along with her forward-thinking Tau scaling law. By the conclusion of our journey, you will understand why China regards her as a folk hero. This narrative starts with the basics: her name, her position as president of Huawei's semiconductor business, her 30 years with the company, and her impressive educational background. She oversees Huawei's entire semiconductor operation, from design to manufacturing coordination. In China, she is celebrated as a folk hero, an engineer who stood resilient against U.S. sanctions. Yet, in the West, she remains nearly unknown. This gap profoundly illustrates the differing perceptions between East and West regarding the ongoing chip war. Let's delve deeper into what Tingbo has accomplished. In 2004, she was tasked with establishing HiSilicon, at that time, a modest internal unit with little expectation. Under her exceptional leadership, HiSilicon grew into the world's most extensive semiconductor operation, producing 381 chips, ranging from smartphone processors to AI and networking chips. While many see Huawei solely as a phone manufacturer, it is also a powerhouse in semiconductor design, competing against giants like Qualcomm and Apple, even if they can't independently manufacture due to sanctions. Now, let's talk about the defining moment of her career. In 2019, the U.S. cut Huawei off from critical foreign chip technologies, which would have devastated most companies. However, Tingbo's response was extraordinary. In a heartfelt letter to her employees, she declared their mission: "We are building a backup lifeline for Huawei and for the whole country." Her team rallied, working tirelessly to develop post-Moore's law solutions and alternative strategies. The surprising truth? Rather than dismantling Huawei's chip ambitions, sanctions accelerated their progress, turning a challenge into a national endeavor. Tingbo has made it her legacy to innovate amidst adversity. Now let's consider her latest vision, the Tau scaling law. The traditional Moore's law, which predicts that chip performance continues to improve by shrinking transistors, is reaching its physical limits. Tingbo's solution shifts focus from transistor size to transmission speed. By optimizing how data moves, her Tau scaling law could redefine the industry and circumvent the limitations of Moore's law, which is critical given Huawei's restricted access to the most advanced lithography tools. This potential shift is significant and could alter the global chip landscape. As we explore Tingbo's story further, let me reveal 3 crucial insights that emerge from her journey. First, the folk hero gap. In China, she is revered, yet largely unknown in the West, which poses a risk as it underestimates China's semiconductor talent. Second, the sanctions accelerant reality. Instead of crippling Huawei, sanctions fostered a sense of urgency and national focus. Lastly, the Tau scaling unknown. While the efficacy of this new approach is still uncertain, Huawei's exploration of post-Moore solutions highlights a significant disparity in chip innovation strategies between the West and China. So what does this mean for you? If you're a tech investor, stop assuming Huawei is finished. Under Tingbo's leadership, they have created 381 chips and a major revenue stream. If you follow policy developments, note that her achievements signal a warning about China's accelerating self-sufficiency in chip technology. And for engineers and students, learn her name. She is indeed among the most consequential leaders in the semiconductor field today. As this chip war continues to evolve, Tingbo stands at the forefront of China's charge. So let me ask you, had you heard of Tingbo before this video, or does the West need to pay more attention to China's chip queen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. Remember to like and subscribe for more stories about the key figures in the global chip industry.